In complete contrast to that intense heat, let's explore the creamy southern styles, specifically from the Malabar coast of Kerala.
The prime example here is fish Malabari. We mentioned its somewhat thin consistency earlier, but what that allows is for the full, complex flavor of the ingredients to shine without being masked by a thickener.
What are the key ingredients that create that balance?
It's typically a very mild dose of tamarind water for gentle sourness, rich coconut milk for body, turmeric for color, and often finely shredded coconut added near the end for texture. The essential aroma comes from tempering mustard seeds and fresh curry leaves in coconut oil. It's best served with plain steamed rice and maybe a sharp lime pickle on the side.
And then there's a style of creamy seafood that has kind of transcended strict geography to become an international favorite, prawn makhani.
Ah, prawn makhani, the buttery, classic style. The name literally means with butter.
It's pure decadence.
It is. The preparation is meticulous. The shrimp is first marinated in yogurt and lime juice, which is a vital step for tenderizing, and then it's cooked in that famously rich, delicious sauce.
And that sauce is the hallmark.
It really is. It's built on a luscious base of pureed tomato, often with cashews for thickness, generous amounts of butter, and heavy cream. It's usually medium spicy, focusing more on comfort and a velvety texture than aggressive heat. And because it's so popular, it's widely available gluten-free.
We can't neglect the unique profile of the Mangalorean coast, which is sort of tucked between Kerala and Goa. Their dishes have this distinct blend of spice and tang that's all their own.
That brings us to Mangalorean prawns suka. Suka literally means dry, and this coastal delicacy is a semi-dry preparation, not a liquid curry. It's instantly recognizable by its bright orange color and its intense, robust spiciness and tang.
And what gives it that unique texture?
The flavor and texture come from preparing it with freshly grated coconut that's been lightly toasted, along with a generous amount of dry red chilies. The mixture is ground into a paste that coats the prawns, giving it this wonderful textural complexity. It's traditionally served with plain rice, or a very thin rice crepe called neer dosa.
Finally, there's the incredibly versatile classic, fish masala, which seems to demonstrate perfectly how adaptable Indian seafood can be for a global palate.
Its preparation is the definition of variable. It depends heavily on the region and the chef. It's often made with delicate sole cooked in tomatoes and a moderate blend of spices, but you'll also see it made with cod, snapper, or even catfish.
And its appeal for international diners.
It's known for having a milder spice level than a vindaloo. It often incorporates sweet coconut milk to provide a gentle richness that makes it a very comforting and universally satisfying dish. It's a fantastic entry point, and again, often available gluten-free and dairy-free, showing how the industry is constantly adapting.
Okay, so we've established the culinary appeal and the incredible scale and quality control driving this $7 billion trade. But to get to that $12 billion goal and maintain that reputation, it requires a commitment that goes way beyond just the processing floor. It means actively addressing sustainability and social equity.
We're moving into the realm of responsible global trade now. The industry and the policymakers, they understand that the long-term viability of that goal relies entirely on sustainable practices. I mean, if the fish stocks crash, the economy crashes with it.
So let's start with sustainability practices. What specific conservation measures are being used to minimize the environmental impact?
Well, the foundation often still involves traditional fishing methods, which are inherently less damaging than industrial-scale trawling. But where large-scale trawling is necessary for volume, specific and legally mandated gear modifications are being widely implemented.
What are some concrete examples of those modifications?
The key examples that always come up involve protecting non-target, often endangered species. The most globally recognized requirement is the mandatory use of turtle excluder devices, or TEDs.
What exactly is a TED, and why is it so important?
A TED is basically a grid or a little escape hatch built into a trawl net. It's designed to let large animals like endangered sea turtles escape unharmed while still retaining the target catch, like shrimp. Their mandatory adoption was a huge regulatory step, driven both by internal conservation goals and by the need to avoid import bans from markets like the U.S.
So it's a conservation measure with direct trade consequences. Any other gear modifications?
Another critical one is the use of square mesh cod ends on nets. Most traditional nets use a diamond mesh, which tightens under tension and traps small juvenile fish. Square mesh keeps its shape, allowing those smaller fish to escape.
So they can grow and reproduce.
Exactly. It ensures they reach maturity and sustain the fish stocks for the future. It's a biological investment.
And beyond technology, there are also behavioral limitations, which I imagine can be pretty contentious with the fishers themselves.
They are the most impactful and politically sensitive measures, yes. This involves mandatory rest periods, compulsory blanket trawl ban periods. In regions like Odisha, this often means a 2-month ban on all trawling during the peak monsoon season.
That's a huge economic hit for the local fishers. Why is that policy so critical?
It's a critical investment in long-term viability. The ban ensures an undisturbed breeding season when marine life is most vulnerable. It prevents the harvesting of reproductive fish and guarantees stock replenishment. It's a classic long-term gain that requires a pretty significant short-term sacrifice.
Shifting to the human element now, this industry is obviously not just about the product. The socioeconomic impact is enormous. It's a vital source of livelihood for millions.
Across the entire vertical fishing, processing, packaging, logistics, millions of people are employed. And a crucial factor that often gets overlooked in the big economic summaries is the key role of women in these coastal communities.
How significant is their role?
Women are disproportionately involved in the labor-intensive stages of processing and value-added manufacturing, grading, peeling, packaging facilities. This sector is a significant pathway for socioeconomic empowerment. So government and industry training programs are often designed specifically to enhance their technical skills and management opportunities, providing them with more stable, higher-value jobs.
So when a consumer here buys a value-added product like a package of ready-to-cook shrimp, they're directly supporting this infrastructure that employs a large female workforce.
Precisely. And furthermore, the government has specific initiatives to ensure the wealth flows back to the grassroots level. A major one is the PMMSY scheme.
What's the scope of that?
It's a vast flagship scheme designed to boost income for fishers and fish farmers through sustainable development. It covers everything from building modern fishing harbors and cold chain infrastructure to providing insurance and promoting quality seed production. The explicit goal is making sure the benefits of modernization actually reach the fishers and farmers themselves.
However, we can't really talk about this rapid global expansion without addressing the ethical challenges that have come up. This is a complex story.
That's absolutely correct, and the industry has faced necessary scrutiny. Investigations by NGOs and media outlets have raised serious ethical concerns about labor conditions, particularly in high-volume environments like shrimp peeling facilities.
And what are the primary concerns that have been raised?
The issues really center on ensuring fair wages, maintaining adequate safety standards, and protecting workers' rights. Things like concerns over excessive hours and lack of formal labor documentation. This has drawn intense international debate over ethical sourcing standards.
So the commitment moving forward has to be about integrating fair labor practices right alongside the quality and sustainability measures. The quality of the product is now completely linked to the ethics of its production.
It's an ongoing challenge, one that requires continuous audits and transparency. But the industry understands that its future, especially in ethically conscious markets, depends not just on the chemical purity of the product, but on the ethical purity of the entire supply chain.
And looking ahead, the industry is not static. It's driven by a big focus on future innovation and technology.
Technology is central, primarily through R&D focused on enhancing aquaculture techniques, improving feed, reducing disease, and optimizing processing methods to reduce waste. This involves a lot of collaboration with global research institutions.
And how is technology changing market access and distribution?
Digital technologies are revolutionizing the marketplace. The adoption of e-commerce platforms and online marketplaces is providing Indian exporters with direct digital access to European and global B2B consumers.
Why is that direct access so important?
It cuts out intermediary costs, which increases the profit margins for the producer, allowing them to reinvest in their facilities and their people, and it expands their market reach. The synergy between traditional fishing methods and high-tech supply chain logistics is what makes this story so powerful.
It's a fusion of ancient culinary tradition with hyper-modern logistical science. Hashtag tag and outro.
It really is.
You know, this deep dive has revealed that Indian seafood is so much more than just a delicious menu item. It really stands at this remarkable intersection of, on one hand, ancient culinary tradition, the intense flavors of kokum, tamarind, coconut, and spices, and on the other, a hyper-modern, complex global trade system. It's an industry that manages this immense volume, reaching 40% of the U.S. shrimp market, while at the same time meeting these incredibly stringent international safety and quality standards.
The significance of choosing this product really is profound. When you choose Indian seafood, you're not just getting a high-quality, safe product that has been rigorously screened. You are contributing to a massive, complex ecosystem that supports millions of livelihoods, notably empowering women in coastal communities, and is actively striving for long-term sustainability through difficult but necessary measures, like those TEDs and fishing bans.
It's a powerful connection between the plate and the planet, the consumer and the community. And to leave you with a final provocative thought to mull over, since this whole cuisine relies so heavily on those specific regional ingredients, the traditional souring agents like kokum, the unique spice profiles you can only find in small coastal villages, what knowledge or flavor profile might still be locked away in those remote regions, maybe in a family recipe book, that this $12 billion global market has yet to discover?
The coastal half of the Indian menu is still revealing its most fascinating secrets. I think the culinary and economic exploration is far, far from over.
I agree. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the global surge of Indian seafood. We encourage you to look beyond the known dishes and explore the rich, spice-laden, and incredibly varied coastal half of the Indian menu.
Until next time.